Hello and welcome to the Hobby Maker website. My name is Lisa, and for this month's project we're going to do this cute little chopping board that is summer themed and a nice bit of decor to put around the house. So the first thing we need to do is take our blank. If you're not using a chopping board, your blank of choice. And I'm just going to cover the front and the back in a really neutral light colour. This one is Storm Cloud. And because I want this in more like a stain than a full-on paint, I'm just going to spritz a little bit of water on top of the acrylic paint before using an applicator to rub it on. This way we don't get a full coverage and you do see a little bit of wood grain, if there is any, on your project underneath it. And I'm just going to flip it over. Because it's very, very thin layer of paint, it will dry very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of interest to the plain board, and I'm going to do that by using a script stencil. I'm going to use a light lemon colour to tie in with the sunflowers for that summer theme. You can tape the stencil down onto the glass mat if you choose, but I'm just going to go straight in and hold it. Again, I'm going to give it a spritz because we want it a little bit watered down, not too much, just a couple. Then I'm going to use my dauber again to go through the stencil. And we just want an intimation here and there, so not the whole thing, we're just kind of zigzagging down to give it a bit of interest. Just check that you've got as much on as you want, and I have. I just wanted that intimation of the wording there. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that to dry, we can die cut our sunflowers. So I'll be making a decoupage set of sunflowers, which I'll build up for a 3D effect on the chopping board. And I'll use my matching die to the paper to achieve this. So now that the 3D decoupage flowers have been built, we've got our background. We're now going to stamp a sentiment onto it. And today's sentiment is going to be sunflowers are kisses from the sun. And I'm just going to put it near the top, over to the side a little bit, and make a decent connection. If you just wait a few seconds with the ink on, it will seep into the wood and you'll get a better connection. There you go. Perfect. Now we've got our sentiment on there, I'm going to liven up the edges a little bit, and I'm going to do that by putting a little bit of distress ink and oxide around the edges. So I'm going to start with my yellow, which is fossilized amber, and all I'm going to do is just pick that up around the edges. Gives us a nice little border, brings the focus and the attention into what's in the middle of the chopping board. Now we are going to be using a bit of green in the ribbon, in the foliage of the flowers. So I'm just going to go around the edges a little bit less than the yellow, just to pick up that green colour to bring that in. And that is in cracked pistachio. If you use a flicking motion rather than a flat motion, you'll just pick the edges up. And you won't completely go over all the yellow you put on. Now we want to place our sunflowers kind of in the corner, because the way the sunflowers are built are kind of on a right angle. But I'd like to bring some of the lilac in, because I think lilac and lemon look beautiful together. So I am going to do that by using these rub-ons by Textures by Lou Collins. This is the Beneath the Brambles. All you do with these is you cut around the one you want and leave the contact paper on the back. Simply use a popsicle stick. One does come in the back, but I haven't got it to hand, so I'm using the back of my blending tool. You just apply light pressure all over once you've removed the contact paper at the back, and then that should lift, leaving behind that lovely pattern. Now, I want to make sure that I'm getting this in the right place, so I place that back on, and once again, rub over the transfer. These are beautiful and so easy to use. And then we're simply going to put glue on the back of the whole decoupage item. Now for decor, we're going to put a few lemon and lilac beads on. Just using the smallest and the medium size flat back pearls for this project. And we're just going to put them in 3s. So the last step we have is to tie the ribbon. So take your ribbon, 2 even lengths. If you can, I would use a firelighter to singe the edges so that they don't fray. Just literally over the edge. And then you want to put that right in the middle and tie a bow. There we go. Beautiful.